ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday night. I am finally embracing what I look like. I am Shrek today, ladies and gentlemen. Next to me is Miss
Frizzle.
Oh, okay, you're gonna say it correctly this time. Okay.
That's Miss Nizzle.
Yeah. Let me adjust this mic.
I'm sorry.
The Magic School Bus knocked down the mic. Here,
Yes.
let's try this. Boom,
Okay, there we
boom,
go.
boom. No
It's
problem. No problem. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Calls from Beyond, right here, live from Las Vegas. We got Mr. Fresh.
Yo, what's happening?
George, you're gonna have to project. We got George.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to our guests because we are very excited for our guests. But I just want to talk real quick about what we did last night. You,
Yes.
Mr. Fresh, and myself
Ooh,
out at the Pioneer Saloon out in Good Springs.
Went out there to fuck around and find out, and guess what we did?
We fucked around and found
We
out,
did.
y'all.
But we didn't really fuck around though. We were respectful.
No, we're always
It's
respectful
still,
with
but
spirit.
anytime you go somewhere seeking for spirits,
Yeah.
fucking around and finding out.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went out there and I actually vlogged it, which I need to edit and put some of the most creepiest things inside of there.
Yep.
And I loved it. I'm not going to hold you. I love the ambiance. You can definitely tell you're not alone.
She was talking the whole time because we ate. We actually got there a
Yeah.
little bit early. She's like, I love how they play into everything's haunted here. I'm like,
Yes.
oh yeah, of course. It's branding.
Yeah.
Marketing, baby.
Nah, facts.
When you
Yeah.
meet Steven, you'll understand. You'll be like, oh, this man.
They had a ghost
Money.
sauce for their hot dogs, y'all.
Yeah.
Ghost
They had
sauce, yep.
Poltergeist burger.
Guys, burger.
Seriously.
Yep. So
So it's pretty much Halloween for us here.
Yes.
We are doing a contest tonight for everybody watching. All you have to do is upload a picture. It could be on a story of you in your costume right now on Instagram, and you have to tag Calls from Beyond. We will be looking at them throughout the night.
Yes.
We're gonna pick one. I think we're gonna let our guest pick it though.
Yes,
I think we have to
yes.
put the pressure on them. Let
Yes.
them pick it. You're gonna be getting some merch if you are picked as the winner. George, I'm really bummed they can't see your costume or Mr.
No.
Fresh.
We've been talking about these costumes for a month. We have to let them walk around, and I would volunteer as tribute to get out the way so that they can.
I think George can just come right here and just.
Yeah. You wanna-
Or
Well,
I'm
everybody,
gonna go back to the super chats.
he says he needs super chats.
right now. Come on.
everybody
Hit
got
me with the
everybody
super.
has a costume on, so I feel like at some point throughout the show,
Yeah.
we
We'll
all
do
need
a
to stand
fashion
up and
show.
present our costume.
I think
to the crowd.
it's like a super chat thing. Like maybe we get to like $10. We all right. We all gonna
Yeah. Yes,
Okay, so
and
5 super chats and we show all show our
5
costumes.
super chat. Okay, at any amount.
Any amount.
No, because I don't want to buy just super chat 99¢.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Amount of my costume.
$5 super
we
chats.
gotta make back the amount of our costume. What's the most expensive costume?
Yes, yeah, no,
Me?
but I'm so excited because we have been talking about Halloween all
Yes.
month. We've had some of the most amazing guests all month,
Man.
and
It don't get no better than this.
yeah, I mean,
We've been waiting for this one for a while.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't tell y'all how long.
I
but
think
it's-
the last 2 weeks are like the like
over here cackling.
the S tier
No,
of
I'm
like
talking
our,
about how long me and Miss Noah been waiting just to interact with this person.
Oh, well,
that-
it's been
that
like
is-
it's been
yeah.
like a year,
I
but
said,
you know, who's
okay,
counting?
you don't want to be my friend. You don't want to be my friend, no. But you know, that's just life be lifing, like life be lifing, and I knew that eventually we would be right here because that's how Spirit sets it up to be. So
And here we are. Should we bring the person in?
yes, do you want to bring him in? Well, she deserves. Oh,
Was that you, George?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
okay.
that was like a super chat sound. I was looking to be
no.
like, dang, they starting already.
We're here.
I forgot to also thank all of our new members. You guys were
Yes,
subscribing
yes.
before we even started.
We
the
got
show.
2 new members on Calls from Beyond and 1 new member on the Black Cauldron before we even
Yes.
started the show. So thank you so much to you guys. Enjoy that bonus content.
Yes. So without further ado, we got to do her.
We got to do.
We don't.
Drum.
We have to
We
get a
don't-
drum
Yeah, we need a
sound.
drum roll because listen.
Oh, George is like actively like trying to. Find it. He's
Yeah.
like, what do I do?
Sorry, y'all. My energy.
Oh,
No,
hold on.
no.
The camera froze.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Oh.
It's right there. Oh, hers did. Okay, don't worry.
No. We'll get it together.
We'll get it together. It's Windows. Don't get Windows, but also you kind of need Windows to do this because Apple it sucks with that.
Yeah. But they heard her voice because I'm looking.
No. That's actually me with a voice modification sound on.
It's part of my costume, y'all. Okay, so confession. We really don't have a guest today. I'm here as Kaya. I have a voice modifier. And I'm going to talk like her for the rest of the show.
But is she good to go with? Sorry, I know we
he's
have
getting it dialed
technical
in.
difficulties.
They always be playing.
I
They always
listen,
be playing.
This is the best part about having a live show is that you got to work on the fly. Like,
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
that's like
the
the
camera
one thing
went
you
out,
got to learn.
Boom. Now we got to figure it out.
Now
Troubleshoot how to
imagine,
go.
now imagine doing that. So the first client I ever had that I did that for was the boxing show, and they would just yell at you.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
See,
Austin fucking to show up. You're like, no, I didn't do anything. What do you
Right,
mean?
sorry,
They screamed at you.
technology.
They tried to fire me like I think 2-3 days in.
Dang.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then
Yeah.
they lost their whole studio, and they were like,
Oh,
Boom, and we're back.
and who do we have, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we gonna do it again.
Drum roll.
Hey, you need all the sound effects.
and the one and the only, the beautiful, the spooky conspiracy.
She doesn't even have her headphones on. She doesn't even know what she's missing out on right now.
Let me hear it. Let me hear
Do it
it.
again, George. Do it again.
Oh
Yeah, I like
my
that.
gosh.
I like that.
Oh,
That's my new theme song.
I
Yeah.
know.
We'll get that.
Kaya.
We'll cut it up for you
Thank
so you
you.
have you can
Send it
just
to me.
Yeah,
do
listen.
intro.
So, as you probably have seen in the last like 3.5 to 5 minutes, we just are a bunch of grown kids with access to the internet, and we have fun,
Unfiltered access to the internet.
unfiltered access. But thank you so much for coming out.
Yes.
sis. This has been a long time coming. Like, I've been super busy. She's been super busy doing some very big things. I told her she's the magician because she's like jack of all trades, doing everything from scaring the shit out of us in the middle of the night on YouTube to telling us her favorite conspiracies to making music. So go ahead, sis.
yeah.
And for those who are living under a rock, I don't really think she needs an introduction.
She
but
is
just in
tagged
case.
in the titles.
Yes, just in case, introduce yourself and what you do.
Hello, guys. My name is Real Kaya. I first started on TikTok, just really speaking my mind, and a lot of people agree with what I had to say. It's gotten so big that I've counted it up. About like 42 million people have seen me on TikTok. 10 million people have seen me on Facebook, and same amount on here, YouTube, 10 million. I think it's at 10 million. But it's not really about how many people have seen me. It's just about the confirmation that I've gotten about everything that I had thoughts about, that people would label conspiracy theories, from talking about spirituality to religion to government to everything that I have observed just being on this planet for the amount of time I've been here is interesting. So it's nice to know that I'm not alone, and I really appreciate y'all for supporting me along this journey.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So I have a question for you because you were talking about conspiracy. I try not to go too much into them, but I have done them earlier on in my channel. But I do like the old ones.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Operation Starfish Prime?
No.
No.
Okay,
Kelly.
so in it was either the 40s or the 50s, they were doing nuclear testing out in the ocean. They were claiming to see how, like, just to do how far up in the atmosphere it could go. But the thing is that they were hosting watch parties in Hawaii for it, and supposedly nobody knew that this was going on.
What?
So I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to test radiation effects on people from longer distances. Because I mean, a lot of people here in Vegas from back in the nuclear, you could used to be able to go up to the top of the casinos and see the blasts. So I think they were trying to. There's these belts around the Earth called the Van Allen belts, and it's radiation. So I think they were trying to like see if they could disrupt that as like a weapon against the Soviets. But they were also trying to test like how
We're
it
doing
would.
so much trying to these Soviets. That was
Yeah, the
number
Cold
one.
War was the best and worst thing in human history in terms of like
No.
technological advancement.
Yeah, because they were talking about that's whenever astral projection was introduced.
Oh, they
is
were like
for the
heavily
Soviets.
like MK Ultra and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super crazy. Like I like to consider I will go in deep. I will like be in the rabbit hole for 2 days. Like 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
Everything's a lie. I don't know what I'm supposed to eat because everything's poisoning
Thank
us,
you.
and it be like that sometimes. Somebody said thank you. Someone said they're 1,000 miles away, smiling from ear to ear over this collab. And
That's what we do
were-
for you guys.
I know. And me and her talked and before this, and I was like, why did this take so long? And then we came to the conclusion, life be lifing.
Yeah.
And it's just, you were making music. I'm like, I ain't seen her on
Yeah.
TikTok. Where's she at? And then I figured out she was hiding over there on YouTube. So I said, let me go over there.
I don't know if
and
it's
see what
hiding
it'd
if you
be
have
like.
if you have that many subscribers. I don't think it's hiding
Yeah,
anymore.
I definitely peeped what they were planning on doing with TikTok and the creators on there who actually were exposing and talking about a lot of different things
Yeah.
that have been called conspiracy,
Mm-hmm.
but they got to see and we got to see just how much a conspiracy theory is labeled, and it's actually a real thing
It's
for
real,
people.
right? It's
Just
very
like
real.
ghosts
Yeah.
and talking to your grandmother who is passed on to the other realm. It's deeper than this surface level stuff that they've been feeding us on these movies and TV shows.
Oh yeah, because the movies and TV shows are just based off of loosely based off of the truth. There's so many things that I've seen in movies that I'm like, that's real. You know, we talk about like Insidious, a little boy getting lost in the dreamland. No, he just traveled a little too far and couldn't make his way back. And it's so many things. Like, you were one of the first TikTokers. When I got on TikTok, I didn't have no followers, I was just binge watching, and you were one of the first people that I followed. And let me tell you, I about blew a lid
The
whenever.
smile on her face right now, George.
No,
you can
so
show that.
I
It's
was
just-
following,
She was ecstatic about that.
and you can ask my husband, my kids.
Me.
Yes. So whenever on TikTok, you can see like, obviously if you're following someone, but I seen the little message thing next to your name one day.
Knowing that she followed you
I
back.
said,
Oh,
I don't think I'm seeing this right. I don't think.
Let me
she's-
refresh.
I said,
Right.
I went to the page and I saw we could message and little arrows and we was friends. I said, oh my God.
I
She
saw
followed me
it.
back.
I was like, oh my gosh, the stories that you were telling, it just felt so familiar.
Yeah.
It felt really familiar spiritually, energetically, and just like the whole spiritual reparations. Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, that is real. And even with the Insidious, the little boy, and how they have, I must say, demonized or put a veil over what we are really capable of.
Yeah, for
as
sure.
beings on this planet, because we're way more powerful in this and we can do more things than what they're showing on these movies and what they're telling us that we can't do. Everything comes from something.
Yeah.
All of these movies about the Avengers, the multiverse of madness, the scary movies that they show, they make it to where you don't feel safe enough to tap into
say
your
it.
potential power.
Yeah.
And all of us have individual powers that we are born with, but because we're so tapped into the programming of what they want us to be, we don't have
We don't
no
have it.
direction and how to learn. And it's like everybody has forgotten that part of themselves.
Yeah.
And I felt that when I was observing, even just me being a child and observing my surroundings, like
Yeah.
things didn't look the same of how I felt inside my heart. Like, are we really arguing about who cheated on who? Or am I really watching women in Bad Girls Club fighting on the TV show? Is this really what we're doing here on this planet?
Right.
Is it war? It's really wars happening right now. You're telling me that this happened on this planet. Do you not know the power that we hold?
And then on top of that, not only do we have these worldly, like the chicks fighting each other, or just in general, we got spiritual warfare that goes on.
God.
And then you mix it all in with the worldly. Listen.
And it make me so mad.
Yeah.
I get so upset when that happens because it's really a psychological study that they're doing on us, and they've been doing it for a long time. They want to see how much we can tap into ourselves,
Yeah.
but they also want to block that
Yeah.
as well.
Oh no, they don't want you to use all your brain. Only they want you to
Exactly.
use that 1%. Because if you used all of it, we'd be able to do a lot. I truly believe if we had tapped in and accessed all of our brain power, we would be able to move things. It'd be the best episode of Matilda.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll be able to see in the spirit world. Like it's a lot of things. We're born without veils. You know,
We are
so
born without it. That's the reason why they are not going to allow certain Africans over here.
yeah.
Because if they come over here and they over here teleporting and going invisible and becoming mermaids and going into the water and not coming out after they just took all of that money out of the bank, how is the police going to fix that? How are they going to
How do you fix something like that?
How
Like
are you going to fight somebody who can go
Well,
invisible and
you
do
know-
powers like that? And so,
yes, and then you're not taking consideration they're setting off bombs, and I'm not talking about like a little firecracker, bombs in the middle of the ocean, and I'm like,
That's
What are you
because
trying to kill?
that's because the aliens is underneath the water,
Yeah.
not
I
above
said,
it.
I
Yep.
said that.
Yep.
I said that. Oh my gosh! And there's so many people on that TikTok app that was like calling me slow, calling me dumb, and just really bullying me because
Yeah.
I said that if you want to go to space,
You
gotta
need to go
in the
under,
ocean.
yeah.
You think you going up? You're going down because water is a portal.
Yeah.
Water is everywhere. We all have water within us, and we have water around us to connect us to different lands. So how do you think you're going to get to another place? Through space. Space is just space. You have to have a portal to go through. It's the water.
It's the water.
You come through the water. When you are born, when you're inside of the mama's
You're in
tummy,
water.
you're in water. Your spirit comes in that body through the water. You travel through the water. So it's like it wasn't
It's so
ticking for
many-
them, but
yeah.
it's ticking now.
Yeah.
And I noticed that everything that I have said and all my thoughts that I had in 2022 is now like making sense to everybody. So I realized that even though the things that I say may not make sense to people at that time, it will eventually.
Yeah.
And it's made me confident in myself to continue to keep sharing my downloads.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
I just had an epiphany, real quick. I just had an epiphany when we were talking about the whole water thing. It's super crazy that whenever you live inside your mom's stomach for 10 months, fully submerged in water, you don't lose that ability to be able to be in water
Yeah.
until you take a breath on land. Make you think like, if you never came on land, would you just continue to still
Right.
be able to breathe underwater?
Yeah. And it's crazy if you put a baby in water.
They're fine.
It will literally swim. It's very much so that same feeling. Like I said, we are born without a veil. And then once you get here, they program you to feel like you're crazy because we get these calls every week and they're like, this is a place where I can just say like, I saw an alien on my porch. Here's
And we're
the
not
picture.
like, you're crazy. We're like, okay, now where do we see this?
That's what we need right
Yeah.
now because there's so many people who are feeling this, and
Yeah.
TikTok confirmed it,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why they want it to go away because it's creating a community. Where
It's
we
talking
can,
too much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We can express ourselves and we can talk about our experiences and not feel crazy. And that's the whole program of it. They will like make it seem like you're crazy or you're a conspiracy theorist or something's wrong with you or you need to go to a psychiatric hospital because you're seeing ghosts and you're hearing voices in your head. No, you're tapped into a radio that other people are not tapped into.
Right. And that's the bear. Whenever people don't understand, you get downloads so many times a day. You just think it's like, oh, I wonder, this is just something I'm thinking. No. You just got to be quiet and listen. Like it will literally come through and you'll be like, I just thought about this, and whatever. And people don't realize like a lot of the things that people call you crazy for. And I was telling this to one of my friends. There's a lot of people that are on the street talking to themselves. Right. And we assume, oh, they're just dealing with a mental health issue. They're homeless. We disregard them, but they be mediums. They be spiritually tapped into things that we don't understand because we ain't had our eye open like they have,
And if you look at history, that's exactly what they
Yeah.
did to everybody. They wanted to close that gap and that connection to yourself, that connection to the divine source and the people who support you in different realms. They want you disconnected from it, and they used to hang people. They used to drown witches. They used to talk. They used to do so much to belittle the spiritual presence in this world.
Yeah. And they use Christianity to do it
Thank
for the
you.
most part.
Thank you. That's
and
all.
it's sad. Somebody said to me, and it was one of the most prolific things I think I've heard, especially whenever I was doing the plantation stories and things like that, is that Black people put the most power into Jesus. And it's so much so, and it's almost like they're underneath, which, no offense to anybody, okay? I love my Christian brothers and sisters as long as you love me the same. But it comes down to, it's almost like it's like under a spell where
It is.
talking to people at other dimensions, like the ancestral plane, that's demonic. That's a demon.
Well, you got to understand, it's also something that's learned, right? Like, for instance, all your life your mom and dad teach you, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. And then at one time you touch the stove and your ass get burnt. Then you realize, oh, it's hot.
Right.
You know, a lot of African Americans, they were instilled this Christianity trait to control. Like everybody knows that Christianity was used to control like slaves and stuff like that.
Everybody.
Even
You know?
before that, like Catholicism, like you look at like medieval times. That's why
Yes.
they would have like a priest or a pastor, because they would interpret it so they could tell you what they wanted you to hear about it, and that way they'd be like, "Oh, I got to listen to this guy,
Right.
so I got to stay going to church. I got to stay giving my money to the
Yep.
church. I got to stay doing this and this and this and this."
Right. It's like, for real. I grew up in the church. Like, my granddad is a
I
pastor.
went to church growing up too. Yeah.
You know, so I was a lot more closer. That's why Miss Noah, she's a lot more spiritual than me, because I still, in the back of my mind, I still have those certain pieces that I've been taught over my whole life. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. But I know
Yeah.
what else feels right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I've always asked questions because I grew up on both sides of the fence. Like, you know, my granddad was a Christian pastor, but on my dad's side of the family, they were all Muslims.
Right.
And I'm like, well, how could they love God and they love this God and everybody else loves God? What's the true definition?
Yeah.
You know, so I always had questions even as a young child. And I just feel like we were all taught this. It was all embedded in us to make us fear questioning, just like how you guys talked about movies and TV shows. There's so many examples of things that we could tap into. There's so many examples of things that we could be, but then they may add a little bit of fluff or bullshit into it to make you
Try to
second
discredit
guess it.
all of it.
Like,
Man,
yeah,
listen.
nah, that's not real.
Lovecraft Country, American Gods.
Even
what was
even
the other one?
Even on the Coven, which
Oh,
the
American
Horror
Horror
Stories.
Stories. Yeah, it's very much so. And deconstructing what you've known for so long, it's so hard. And that's why I be like, I welcome everybody to my channel. Like, I could be talking about something that happened that offended the Christians, like whenever they mocked Jesus and then all of a sudden Rio flooded. Or I could be talking about how a lady in Haiti turned into a cat. It was a lugao.
Wait,
And then
I missed that one.
yeah, they turn into cats sometimes.
All right.
Oh, you ain't see the one where the cat was
Everything
screaming.
comes there. It
Yes.
comes all of the movies,
Right.
everything that
Right.
they
Skin
They
markers,
put
like
bits and pieces of the truth.
zombies.
yeah, zombie.
Zombies.
Listen,
Zombies came
right,
here.
right.
It's like it's so we are so powerful.
Yeah,
And like on an energetic level, universally as a collective, we have so much potential that we could consent to, and you can tap into. Anybody who's listening right now, you could tap into whatever power you want to tap into. Every space that I put my mind in, I can go as far as I want to with it.
yeah,
Even if I start looking at something, like I remember watching the movie Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. I remember watching it, and it's just a certain familiar feeling
Yeah.
that you feel from the powers that you see there. I couldn't understand when I was younger why I wanted to watch, and I loved anything that had to do with magic, anything that had to do with powers,
Me
or
too.
just the history of things. Like I loved that,
Yeah.
and that's because that's how I remember how this planet was.
yeah.
Well,
Well, you've lived many of them. Listen, many of lives.
Yes.
You know, I learned that deja vu. There's no such thing as that. That's just something you remember that you did, like in a
Yep.
past life, or whenever you're traveling at night. And I remember one of your TikTok videos, you were talking about astral projection, and I accidentally astraled like
Yeah.
way after, and the way you said it looked, in my dream I was like, this is what she was talking about, like that soft yellow.
Yeah.
Like, and I said, I'm clumsy, and we have been taught to fear so much, and it's stuff that we see on TV because they tell you to fear it. You know, they show you Insidious, and this is your warning, boys and girls, don't astral travel. This is your warning if you talk to your ancestors, you may be possessed by a demon. It's like you never get a break. Now, I know how many times I have. But how many times a day do they call you a demon on TikTok or YouTube, or they talk shit? Because that's all they do to me. And I'm like, where do y'all come from? Y'all algorithm must be snitching on y'all for one. But
No, I don't want to
do
believe
they
in
do
this.
that to you too? A lot?
A lot.
It
And
is
it's
discouraging
it's
sometimes.
hard because it's not that hard, but it's difficult when you are ahead spiritually, mentally,
Yeah.
on an esoteric level. You can perceive things differently from other people, and they count you out on it. They
Right.
look at you differently, or they talk about what you're saying, or it doesn't make sense, or why are you speaking this way? You're messing up history. You're lying about this. You're disconnecting, and you're connecting to a devilish thing. Anything that you don't understand, you're gonna just demonize it.
Well, they fear it.
Exactly.
It's fear.
And that's the thing. You have to realize that you are programmed to feel that way. You are programmed
yes.
to
Yep.
feel that way. You don't even want to explore the things that you have felt in your heart, in your mind, and in your body and in your soul. You don't even want to explore it because you're taught to fear
To fear
anything
it,
that
yeah.
you don't know. You don't know what the future is. You don't know what's going to happen to you when you step out your front door. You don't know what's going to happen when you get in tomorrow, next year. You don't know, but you still continue to move forward.
Right.
And you got to trust your feeling, trust your heart.
Yep.
If you feel like there's an alien that I'm seeing in my dreams, or there's some type of spiritual being that's connected to me, and it might be a demon. It's a demon. No, it's not. You have to have discernment. With anything, discernment with everything, walking on this physical and spiritual plane.
Ooh, I got a question for you because you said something on TikTok and it made me look at low vibrational, what we would call D words, right? Because I seen your TikTok and you were like, I don't know if you were having sleep paralysis or if you were traveling, and you seen this being, and then something in your head said, if I just touch it and feel or like put all of this love towards it, it's gonna be okay. Like it's almost like it's a human underneath there, or some kind of light spirit that just is right now very low vibrational. It's only known low vibrational. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Straight face, yes.
tell the story, because whenever, I was like mouth open, I was locked into that TikTok because I've been experiencing sleep paralysis since I was 12, and I always associated the beings that I see as low vibrational D
Yeah.
words. And then I stopped fearing them, and then I started getting mad at them, and I'm like, not tonight, but explain to people that did not see that TikTok, because that might have been like a year ago or a little over.
It was
So because I was just like, sis is on to something.
So, in the way I experienced it, and how I'm going to break it down to y'all is the spiritual realm is just like this.
Yeah.
If you feel in your heart the as above so below, you will understand that everything is collectively connected. So what I see with people who are, there's a lot of bad people on this planet, and they're just hurt. They're just lost. And it's the same thing in the spirit realm. It's just lighter there. It's more, you can actually see the real costume of it. So like when you're in the astral realm and you're seeing a nasty looking dark being, that was once something that exists, a being that exists.
Yes.
They just chose to go to a different side. They try to give, you know who I'm talking about, the S word to the T. They try to give him so much power, but he was a being.
He was an
before.
angel.
He was an angel. He chose, and everything is all about what you know here. You know that you have freedom of choice.
Right.
You can choose whatever you want to whatever you want to do, however you want to be, whatever side you want to be on.
Right.
So my experience, I have this power to where wherever I sleep, I can dream about the energetic space of it, and I can astral project and feel what exactly is in the room. And this happened when I was visiting my father. I went over to his house and I went to sleep, and all of a sudden, you go through that wormhole and you experience the feelings of astral projection. You feel the density of 3D becoming lighter.
Yeah.
And you're in the fourth dimension where time doesn't exist. So I was like, I don't know, I teleported or whooshed to a certain place, and I was right in front of my grandmother's house. and I saw this being, and she was like, she just looked like she went through hell. She looks like a demon, but you could tell that it was a certain sadness about it. And I don't know if it's that's just my empathy, and that's just me like having my discernment and knowing. But she was trying to attack me, but I could really see that her heart was telling me I need help.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you want? And she was, and at first when she was attacking me, because she was trying to get to my grandfather, and I felt that my grandfather was being attacked. And that's the reason why subconsciously I went there. I traveled there astrally to figure out what's going on and why I had this feeling about my grandfather. And I went there, and I was fighting her at first, and I was trying to figure out, like, why are you here? Why are you trying to mess with him? And she was like, I've been around him for a long time, and he didn't realize it. And now she was like, now I'm going to leech on to you, since you want to come in here and try to save him. So then when I was fighting her, and I ended up somehow just touching her with my hands, and she just, all of that dirt, all of that darkness just like went away, like just really just crawled
right
away,
off of her,
crawled off of her. And she was like, thank you. You don't know how long I've been on this side, and I haven't been able to be free. And I've been trying to latch on to him or to anybody who has that spiritual foresight to help me. But I did try to harm them. That's just the nature of me. And then come to find out, when I got up, my mom called me and said that my grandfather had a heart attack.
Wow.
And she said that he's fine, and he's doing very well, and he actually healed very, very fast. But I feel like me subconsciously, like, I didn't even know that my grandfather was sick or he was feeling some type of I just knew subconsciously that there was something wrong, and I visited him. And for some reason, like, everybody has different powers. The hands, I just touched her, and I got her off of him. She was trying to get into the house. And yeah, that's what happened.
That's like what Brian was telling us last night. We had George and I had a mutual friend / client pass away Sunday morning from, he had stage 4 cancer. And Brian, who does a lot of the paranormal investigations with myself and Noah, he's a paranormal sensitive. And he was saying that the morning that he passed away, he didn't know yet, but he had a friend call him 3 times before he could wake up and said, I don't know why I need to tell you to say this to him, but like, I have this feeling. And then right after I think he read those at 5 p.m. But at that point, he already knew that he had passed away. But it was like a thing where it was like a foretold warning of like, hey, I need you to tell this to him.
Yeah. Everybody has a superpower, you know, and some people are still figuring theirs out. It's a lot of mediums or clairvoyants or, you know, psychics, and they're made to feel insane. And I like that. Yeah, they want it like that. And that's why, like, I cherish all of my platforms. I cherish, because I turn them into communities. I'm like, y'all my, hey, bestie, you know, whatever. And I love, even if I'm not able to, because I have a Patreon, and I recommend that you get one too. But
you don't have one? We
get a
gotta
Patreon.
put you on game.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
please, put me on.
because it's like, I created the Patreon as a space where I could post my videos, right? Or like exclusive content. And then it turned into a space where I was teaching the spirituality that I knew. And then it turned into, now I have 844 like best friends, and I don't have to be in there every day, but I'll pop in there and be like, hey, big head, what y'all doing here? And they're all, and shout out to y'all, because they're in the chat too. But
Oh yeah, the Patreon chat be going crazy.
Yes.
Every night.
They're in it. So it just comes down to, it's a lot of people that did leave the church. There's some people that are still going to actively go to church. And now it's less about me putting my videos on there. It's about helping people understand that you are powerful and deconstructing what's been told to you for a very long time, your whole life. It's just not an overnight feeling. It's not an overnight thing.
Dare
Rome
I
was
say
not
you
a
created
building.
a community?
Yeah, I did.
It also
And-
reminds me of what old boy said yesterday, which I don't know if we have it recorded, but
Probably do. I'm still combing through all the footage.
I don't think you were actually there for this conversation, because we pulled out our camera and we were recording the bartender,
During that, yeah.
Yeah,
with,
and
with Philip.
we had a deeper conversation with Philip, and Philip was super dope. You know what I mean? And we
Shout
asked
out
him,
Sandy Valley.
Yes.
yeah, and we asked him about like the vibe in the building, and if he's ever experienced any entities. And you know, he kept it real with us. He was like, "Listen, I'm not going to tell y'all a lot of fluff because that's not how I get down." He was like, "The only ghost I know about is the Holy Ghost."
Yeah.
And you know, this
He said,
that,
I'm
and the
from
third."
Fort Worth,
But
Texas.
then-
You
Yeah.
don't know about.
But then he went
But
on
then
to
he
say,
went on to say, but you know, it's a situation where I have these people from Brazil that come in and they say, "Hey, there's a lady in the bathroom screaming," and then I have these people from France come in and say, "Hey, there's somebody in the bathroom screaming,"
And they'd never talk to
you
each
know,
other.
and they never
Right.
talk to each other because they came from two separate entities, you know. So it's like, I mean, how many different sets of people are
gonna
going to
say
come
the
in
same
and say the
thing.
same thing before I believe what they're saying? So have I seen it personally? Absolutely not. But I know several people who have experienced it, you know. So it's like, who am I to dispel and say that that's not the truth?
Yeah.
Because everybody is feeling the same thing when they come into this place.
Yeah.
And that's in regards to the ghost hunt we went on yesterday, which was super dope.
I know. I was like, I asked her before we started going live. I'm like, wait, do you like ghosts?
Well, I was going to ask that because normally you ask that, but I think because now it's your guess. How are you? How do you? So like, mostly what I do on my channel is ghosts, like paranormal investigations. Like I've been recording every night of the tours I've been hosting. What is your stance on like the paranormal and like ghosts in terms of like, because I know with being a spiritualist and stuff like that, like there's a lot of different varying opinions on it.
I'm a firm believer that we experience 90% of the spirit realm and 10% of this physical realm.
Yeah.
The people that you meet are not strangers. You have already met them before. There is nothing new underneath the sun.
Yeah.
Everything is energetic before it is physical.
Yes.
So I take that into account with every experience that I feel, whether it's ghosts, whether it's just a feeling of energy that is left in a house or on a certain piece of land. It's just like what's sitting right here to me. It's real.
Have you heard of the stone tape theory?
No, tell me.
So that I heard that originally from Jay
It's
from
pretty
Ghost
dope.
Adventures. So it's basically stating that like a room can have energy coded in it. So let's just say, God forbid, somebody comes in here and murders everybody with an axe because there was such a high release of energy. Now the walls in this room are coated with our energy.
Yes.
And so, because like I always make the joke, like how come I always see or always hear about ghosts talking about like last night, like those are pioneer ghosts, like they were there in the early 19. I don't ever hear a ghost say like "Free Britney" or nothing, and it's
Right.
because like with this theory, it's that nowadays people are not dying as tragically and as violently. Sure, it's still happening, but not nearly as much. I mean, medicine helps with that a lot. So I think with the stone tape theory, though, it kind of relates to what you were just saying, where like the energy in a room can be what is causing you to still see somebody or
Yes.
to still be having that. And so
That's 100% true, and that's the reason why they do certain events, big events like the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
or they
Oh,
do
yeah.
certain concerts on certain areas because it's a bowl of people fanning their energy in a circle, creating a whole vortex. And that's the same thing that they would do in certain areas where they would do massacres. And that's why they disrespect certain native lands, because they know it's a powerful energy source. And if I could just control that, then I would be able to suck that energy up. And that's it's like
I
that.
didn't even
in
think
houses.
about that because even when they built the Allegiant in the middle of the city, I didn't understand why. I said, "Don't y'all got one of these across the street at T-Mobile?" And I'm like,
not big enough.
It wasn't big enough. But see, it's so much. You're right, because there's no square arenas. There's no triangle ones. It just is always, and I never even thought about it
It's
like
a
that.
It's a big bowl of energy.
Yeah.
That's why they want it like that.
Yeah.
It's the same way with I had read something about y'all know the hurricanes that was happening, and I saw on TikTok that they were saying that they had disrespected or
Oh,
like
yes.
dug up
The
the
Native-
Native American
Yeah.
Indian ground.
Yeah.
And it's like energy is real and
Fuck
it's
around and
here,
find
and you gotta
out.
feel.
Well, yeah.
If you don't, and that's the thing, they don't want us to have the discernment enough to
Yeah.
feel it because they know we wouldn't go certain places.
Right.
They know we wouldn't visit certain places.
Well, it's so that hurricane was the
Terrible.
three. It was terrible. A lot of people were not only talking about the native part of it, but a lot of those little sundown towns got tore
Yes.
up too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it always comes down to energy never dies. Not even on and we talked about this with Jay last week. Not even on the molecular level. It just keeps moving and moving.
Yeah,
right?
it just transfers.
Yes, it
Yeah.
transfers. Like there's nothing in this world that I think is beyond belief. I always say humans are the most. That is it'd be tripping. But
Hi, George. Even though they can't see you.
No, he's not. He turned it
So
off.
you wanna know my theory that I have about slavery.
oh,
And not just us. It's
Yes.
it's across different
We
planets,
probably
different
heard-
universes.
yes, because I just heard something about slavery like a week ago, and I believe it. So tell me your theory, because obviously
I did not hear the story, so now I'm gonna have to actually.
They were not human.
Oh,
When you
the
when
way
you
that
think
that threw me for a loop.
they were not human. You can't. It's
Is it like an Anunnaki type of thing?
it's morally of creating. It's a reason why they did so much terrible things, because even just like
It's Reed. It's Reed. It's Reed. One more down. That might be somebody you can just remove altogether.
What are they doing? Sorry, we have people that
They love us so much that, they
they
love to make
come
fun
over
of
here and they do disrespectful
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah, weird. I mean, you have all the time in the world to send something like that, but you don't have the time to get a life. Anywho, go ahead.
Thank you for the preview. though.
Right.
I'm just a firm believer that, like I said, everything starts on an energetic level, and everything that has played out in history has already played out before on other planets, and it's just a energetic shockwave that we all take in, and however we're going to translate or dilute that, that's what is playing out. So, from my experiences and me having past life regression, not even just being on this planet, but other planets, the same thing has happened on other planets. And slavery it didn't start on this planet. It
Okay.
started on other places.
Because
in
somebody
other
said
places.
which side wasn't human. But so would it be safe to say like the first slave trade, it was before anything even was here other than life forms that weren't human? Did it still
too
happen that
many-
way, or
when there's like peace and there's like a connection, a spiritual connection, and then there's these people that come in and they say, "Oh, we want to help you. We want to help you evolve," but they're helping you disconnect from your spiritual self. They're helping you disconnect from the land and disconnect from who you truly are. And when I say they weren't human, I'm going to say they were influenced by things that were not human. Because I every time I look at history, I keep thinking like, why is history so messed up? Why is it so bloody? How
yeah.
do you think, how can like people be so docile into believing or allowing certain things to happen?
Yeah.
But I really do feel that the people who weren't involved with controlling certain things, they had people behind the scenes who were
Yeah.
not human in exchange. I keep thinking like, why did they experience that? What's the point of doing all of that? What was the point of causing all of that pain to somebody? What is the point? It's about the energy. It's
And
about the space.
Yes, energy harnessing is a thing, and it's so funny because one of the things you said was, what was the reason? And I was recently doing research for a YouTube video, and it talked about someone had said that some of these people's ancestors were not human, and they were demons and entities that want to see the human race or want to conquer. They always want to conquer. And they take that energy, and this is how the transatlantic slave trade even happened. But then again, I seen something else where there was like, that shit never happened.
We are not alone. I want everybody to know we are not alone. We are not alone.
Nope.
They tell you that aliens don't exist. They tell you that spirits don't exist. They tell you that ghosts don't exist. But from y'all being here, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So on that topic, it's once your mind's eye is very aware, you will be able to see that there's a lot of different beings here. And that's the reason why they came out with these movies and videos and TV shows. They want you to kind of get a psychological standing on it. Like when they show reptilians, when they show the secret invasion.
Real.
Yeah. And then they later bring it out and say, oh, here's the documents to show that we had, like that's what they did with the UFOs. And I'm just like, so this whole time you denied people's experience and called them crazy because you didn't have a hold on or understanding of how things are going to go moving forward with this situation. And that's the same thing with spirituality.
And that's what I'm saying. And it all ties back. Everything, it's like the law of oneness, interconnection. Everything is constantly connected, okay? Because they've put this stuff in our face for so long until they just could not. Okay, because you got to think about it like this. CIA documents have to be released to the public after 50 years. And some of the first UFO sightings, now documented because they was seeing UFO. I mean, the Egyptians were just beyond what anybody can even say right now. Like, I truly believe that they built those pyramids hand by hand, like hand.
Thank you.
They were giants, and they were tall, and they were strong, and it only took 2 of them to do it. Pick up them things. So, but they have to. So you gotta think about it like this. You're like, okay, jig is up.
Yeah.
Here's the documents. These dudes, and I'm like, but for the last 50 years, you've lied, gaslit. Like it's all, and you've made some spiritualists or some people that are theorists be like, I'm crazy. Like I need to get help. Like if that's not evil in itself, I really don't know what it is.
It gives them time to do damage control.
Yeah,
it gives them time enough to study the situation so they can know how to deal with it. Because they know what's going to come out.
Yeah, they
know exactly what's going to come out. Every truth, everything that they have hidden is coming out right now.
Yeah,
and it's going to continue to come out. And that's what I love being incarnated at this time on this planet is such a beautiful time because everything that we learned about history and all of the stuff that has happened, it's all coming out, and it has to.
And it's repeated as well. I mean, all of it's already. Yeah,
that's what the Matrix is.
Right, exactly.
You're just repeating the same energy, looping it all the time.
We're in a big ass simulation, and I'm just wondering, like, okay, can we not act like we're not? I feel like the power that, like God, what we consider God, the Most High, it's just playing like the most littest game of Sims, and it's all about how we,
Can we please give me more money?
Listen, well, and that's the thing about it. And I harp about like the 12 laws of the universe and different things like that, timeline jumping, quantum jumping. It just depends on what timeline you are at any point. You can jump and go into other timelines.
I've done it before.
Yeah, me too. This is one of them, me being social media. How do I go from, and sometimes it even like boggles my mind, being in the finance industry and like corporate America. And then one day I just happened to take 2 cups and did, a little wine and did a couple things. And then poof, I'm
now you have to do this every day.
I'm right. I'm a social media content creator. And it's because there's different timelines, it's the dimensions that we live in are not, it's not linear. Like it's just not.
You're always shifting. You're always like, you can tap into whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Literally. And sometimes I do things and I have experiences that don't make sense to me at that time, but then it adds up and it connects later down the timeline.
Give it like, okay, so I never told nobody this. And even I told Mandela this. Sorry, Mr. Fresh this. And it's so crazy because it literally scared me. So I've told myself I'm not covering Diddy anymore. At all.
I wonder why.
At all. No. I astral
you know.
projected into some shit that
Yep.
I'm cool off him, his clan.
That corner over there.
I'm cool off of all of it because I truly do believe that Diddy likes to spy on people in the astral realm. I feel like what I
does.
saw, it terrified me, and I'm getting goosebumps. Like I'm getting nervous just thinking about
It's
it.
not
and
human. That's
It's
the
not.
thing.
It's
They
not human.
They got a squad over there.
Yeah.
They got a team over there that
Yeah.
that know exactly how to do that. That's the reason why they haven't allowed us to tap into our divine selves.
Right.
Because if we really team up with the people who are looking out for our most highest good, the friends that we have on the other side, we are going to bring this planet to a more peaceful space to where these beings that they're interacting with to run this planet are not going to be able to be on this planet energetically.
Yeah.
You can't be here.
Yeah.
You don't have the energetic frequency to stand this energy.
Yeah.
You can't just like a person who's so negative and just a bad person, they can't be around people who are good. They want to hang
Right.
around people who are vibrating the same way.
Same,
Birds
on
of
the-
a feather flock
yeah.
together. So you are going to that's the whole reason when you're astral projecting and you see certain spirits and energies, it's from you. It's from what you're emitting. I remember when I was astral projecting one time, and no, I was in sleep paralysis actually. And what's crazy is I astral projected before I even had sleep paralysis experiences. But when I was in sleep paralysis, I didn't see any negative beings. I didn't have no
Yeah.
feeling of I'm scared, even though I
Yeah.
can't move and I don't
Yeah.
have no like feeling. I understand that I'm just in between right now. And the minute I started to think and freak out because I'm not physical or I don't have the feelings that I have in the physical realm, that's when I started to hear them coming.
Yeah.
That fear, that anxiety, all of that. We are literal magnets. You can have whatever you want. You can tap into whatever you want, and you can feel whatever you want. We have free will. So in that realm, it's more lighter. You can just ask for it, and it'll come to you.
Yeah.
So if you're subconsciously like thinking I'm scared, there's something wrong, and they're gonna be like,
Yes, because they can smell it
yeah,
on
they
each
can
other.
smell it
And
on
it,
you.
and it's so funny because we just had this conversation a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago because we do this every week on Tuesdays. And we were talking about sleep paralysis. And I'm like, over the last 20-something years, because we get a lot of calls about sleep paralysis. And it used to terrify me as a child, a teenager. Hell, even into my early 20s, it still would scare me. And then one day I was just like, I was going into sleep paralysis and I surrendered. I was the hangman.
Yes,
I
you
was
have to
like,
let go.
I was like, okay, if this is my time to go, then just let me go. And I stopped fighting it and I stopped being so afraid.
yes.
Now, what I need to practice on doing, and what a lot of people that call us, or even people that have sleep paralysis, you have to think of it, like you said, you're in between. Because I noticed once I just let it, I surrender, and I don't even think about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then I either fall into astral or lucid, or
Yes.
like I'll just go about with my dream. So it's like you have to just let it go, relax. sis.
That's the program. You got to realize that program is still running inside of you. It's important to rewire yourself and tell yourself that you are going to experience things for a reason, and you need to trust in your higher self to guide you, because your higher self is going first.
Yeah.
Because that's the energetic higher you. Your higher self has already experienced that, so follow that. Whatever you feel, sometimes I can't understand why I have certain astral projection experiences, or why I'm in different places, and why does this add up, or why am I going through a time of darkness?
Right.
Why did this happen to me? Why did my TikTok page get deleted? Why did this happen to me? But it makes sense in a part of my soul's evolution and whatever I needed to know and learn while being on this planet.
Yep. I say there's no such thing as failures. Never.
None.
There's none. There's only lessons in what you are going to do with those lessons. Because, I mean, and take it from somebody who invested $100,000 in the Philippines just to lose it all. Like got robbed me blind, took the rims too. And
The rim.
so like for a long time, I beat my own ass over that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I failed, right? And then so I started praying. I started getting into my spirituality. I started talking to my ancestors more. And they was like, we told you, you hard-headed. We told you not to do that dumb shit, you know? And I had to like literally be like, yo, what was this for? And they're like, this is for you to do this, this. We orchestrated it this way. Sometimes you just got to take the L. This is a very
I wish
big
I would
L.
have knew now what I know then.
Yes.
That's what
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
have-
Yeah.
It builds that connection.
yeah, and it builds
psychological
character.
pain, that experience. Like even I had to learn that for myself, like on a spiritual level, as I was growing and sharing my spiritual experiences on TikTok, because I realized that okay, now that I'm sharing my experiences, I'm still going through a certain, I'm gonna say, spirit school.
Yes.
Like my teachers, my guides on the other side, who's trying to help me master myself spiritually,
Yes.
is still teaching me.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like as I'm learning and evolving in myself, I'm still telling them what's going on, and it's like I have to take time to learn myself and learn my powers and learn my energy. So I couldn't understand why I was going through sleep paralysis or why I was having experiences of nasty beings just following me around. They just have a certain energy that you don't want to be around when you're in that spirit, when you're in that realm. I remember one time I was house sitting for a friend, grandmother, and she was like, "Oh, you can come with me." And when I got in there, it was nighttime. So as soon as I went to sleep, it's up. I'm astral projecting.
Right.
I went in, I was up, and I started walking around the house, and it was so dark, and it was just so depressing, and everything was like had this reddish tint, and it was these kids that was inside of these rooms, and I was trying to open the door, but the doors were locked, and I couldn't like help them. But
Right.
finally I had one door open, and it was this Chinese little girl, and she was asking me, can you help me find my mother? And I'm like, I'll help you,
Right.
come on, let's go. And then for some reason I was woken up, but I couldn't understand why I was hearing all of those children cry. And when I got up, my friend told me, "Oh, my grandmother was a foster parent." And I didn't even know that. And I'm trying to
Wow.
figure out why I'm hearing all of these kids crying. I want my mom. I want my parents.
Yeah.
And it was just so depressing because if you're an empath, you can feel the pain. It's lighter on that end.
yeah.
Like you can feel everything. And I hated that feeling. I didn't know why I was experiencing that. I didn't know why that was happening for me. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're going through your spiritual journey, you might have experiences that are not the best.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
a lot of us on here are boasting about
Yeah.
all of the fun times and
Well,
you traveling to the moon or you're going to talk to
No.
certain beings, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, you have to go through this different levels to know discernment, to know the difference between good energy and bad energy, and know how to fight that or also give it with love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's you gotta have that training, and
A lot of people don't, and then they start messing with things that they don't know what they're doing. And I even went on TikTok the other day, or not the other day, but the 1st of October for Hoodoo Heritage Month, and I told them, y'all be thinking I know everything. I'm still in school too.
Thank you.
You never stop learning. A woman that knows everything knows nothing.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand. It takes a lot of shadow work. It takes you understanding who you are, what you stand for, what do you really believe? What's your belief system?
Yes.
It takes a lot of meditation. It takes a lot of crying. It takes a lot of just understanding that this is not a love and light thing. I don't know who told everybody that spiritualism is just this very light, airy, and no. We're talking about all types of spiritualism. There's different dimensions of.
Thank you.
It's very much so levels to all of this, and I had to learn the hard way. But like I said, there's no such things as failures.
Yeah.
These are lessons, and I think a lot of people have to understand. Whenever you step into this world, you will realize that there's more dead people walking around you than there are living.
Yes.
That you're a spiritual being living a human experience. Nobody is perfect, but I wish that people would listen and
Yeah.
also deconstruct what they were taught.
Yes.
Because they think one way, they think, my spirituality, whether it be Catholicism, Christianity, Buddhism, my stuff, my shit is the most important. Like, it's supremacy to it. And it's like, just wait until they see. One day they will understand. And, know that this is not one dimensional. It's not. It's not black and white. Hell, it ain't even gray most times. You
think you might be seeing a regular person or an angel, and that might be something. You have to have discernment. You have to go through that learning process spiritually, and you have a family that's going to help you.
Yeah.
And it's about having the patience with yourself, because I know a lot of y'all are going through just wanting to activate your powers and be able to see into the spirit realm and be able to see ghosts and feel that experience. But it's a process, and it's you go through your lower self and have to travel that power all the way up to your higher self. So you're first going to experience a lot in order for you to know how to move. If you want to help people, if you see that there is a spirit on your sister, or that person is not the best partner to be with, you know that energetically, but you're not tapped into it. But just be patient with yourself, okay? Don't try to go out here and try to find people who are just the same people, the same way you see this government, and they have agents and they send it to other countries, and they have people who spy on you. It's the same thing. They have spiritual agents here who pretend to be spiritual on this on these platforms.
Don't get them started, because and it's so obvious. Okay, I forgot what that lady called them, but I was watching a video and they were talking about that. They will literally, TikTok is not the place to sometimes like be whenever you are trying to start off on your spiritual path, because there is a lot of people out there that are very dark, what I consider witches, because I don't consider myself a witch. I'm just, a spiritualist. I like to mix my herbs and keep it moving.
Thank you.
But there's people, and the word witch, it's to me, for what we do, especially with like ATR and things, like that's offensive to us whenever we're called witches, because they think of the word witch totally different. Us Westerners have just taken it and like flipped it and dipped it.
Yeah.
But there are people that will claim to be spiritualists.
Yes.
And really, they just mean to do you harm. There are people that will initiate you just to like take your soul, or like do souls like swapping, destiny swapping, very much so vampire energy. And people don't realize that. Yeah. Like, you will literally fuck around and find out, and
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised
like,
who would
oh
be.
my God.
It's your favorite spiritualist. It's the person that you watch with the tarot cards on live. It's the people that you don't even expect.
Yeah.
And one thing you said that I can honestly say is intuition and discernment is so important, y'all. Like, that is one gift that God gave you, and you have it from birth. Like, whenever you little, if I touch, like he said earlier, if I touch the stove, it's gonna burn me. Yeah. You have to use that type of intuition. Like, you can feel it in your stomach whenever you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it comes up and you're like, am I tripping? No, there's no such things as coincidences.
Exactly. I'm telling you right now, trust yourself. Okay, trust yourself. Even if you don't feel like you are the most powerfulest person, or you don't see ghosts and you don't have that ability, just know that universally we are all connected to a divine source. And when you need to know, you will know. Yes. And it will happen for you. Yep. Don't ever feel like you're less than somebody, because it's like literally what I've been saying with the as above, so below. Everything is all connected. So do not feel like you are by yourself or you are not powerful. I noticed that even with me, like I was so excited to even when I was like 6 years old when I wanted to open my third eye, but I wanted to
said,
like
I've been in this.
yes, like I wanted to tap into that energy, and I got frustrated with myself because I didn't feel like I was experiencing everything that I was seeing all of these people talk about on the YouTube channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just know that if you are ever in any danger, or if you're around something that you don't know how to discern, your higher self and your people who are connected to you will always let you know and help you. Okay, you are not by yourself. You do not have to have a reason to be scared, even though we are talking about, like on my page, I cover experiences that people have had with like love spells, spirits, just being attacked energetically. You will know. You will always know.
You'll always know. Yeah.
Don't feel afraid. Don't at all. You're fine. And yourself is going to tell you what you need to know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not for you to know at that time. You have to allow yourself to teach you.
I think a lot of people don't understand divine timing. Like you
Thank
hear
you.
it, things will happen to you in your life. And even whenever people are on spiritual journeys, especially like my patrons, they'll be in a rush to learn I'm like, no. You need to slow down. It's okay if you don't know everything, because I don't know everything.
Thank you.
I don't know. Listen, I'm a mere mortal woman, right? But it's just about knowing that your ancestors, spirit guides, because they're not the same, y'all. Your spirit guides don't even have to be human.
Yeah.
But your ancestors, spirit guides, they set up things, they orchestrate things for you in the way that you are supposed to experience them in this timeline, at least. So I try to tell people, just like, it's okay. You don't have to know everything about astral projecting. You don't have to know every root work and conjuring. That's not what you need to know.
That. I went through that time, like where I just was trying to study everything I could about astral projection, or the different alien races, or the different spirits that, like, my mind was on overload because I felt this pressure of, I'm not safe in this world, and there's so much going on, and there's so much that we haven't been taught and we don't know, and I need to learn it before something happens. But no. Slow down. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's all rushing in because now that you have this awareness, but just know that it'll dilute and filter through you when it's time.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when I first found out, because I used to watch a lot of mermaid stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember just having a connection to it, and when I first accepted it into myself, like, I do believe mermaids are real.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, just
You put the little water sound in it. Yeah.
I remember wanting to astral project into the ocean and just try to do that. And I was trying so hard, like, every night, like, and it wasn't happening for me. And then a year later, I had that experience where I did some type of meditation, and I was trying to see what teacher was present with me at that time. Because you have teachers that'll come along and they'll teach you certain things, and they don't even have a name. And I remember during that meditation, I was starting to see dolphins. And then the dolphin became this, like, light being and was like, yeah, I'm here with you. And I'm trying to teach you how to balance yourself out and stay with the flow. Even if it's waves happening for you in your life, you need to be able to just ride in instead of trying to force everything and fight against the water.
Yeah, because then you'll drown.
And then
Irony, it was a dolphin at the
Yes,
same time.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
So
And then
I was gonna say, did it take you?
Yes. All of a sudden, I started having experiences where I was in the water. I would at first, because you consciously think that I can't breathe underwater. Why am I here? And I could feel myself slipping away consciously and coming back here.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, stay calm. And I'm like, where am I? So I was underneath the water, and everything just felt normal. I was breathing, and I was moving, and I was a mermaid.
Yeah.
And I was helping these kids that they were transporting under the water.
Like human kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The
Just
cargo.
making sure we're on the same level, because I'm gonna tell you something, but go ahead.
It was kids that was stuck in this cargo that they were transporting over on the boats.
Yeah.
And I remember being underneath the boat, and I was trying to like knock the boat over. I was trying to help the kids because mermaids have a telepathic ability,
Yeah,
and they
for
can
sure.
talk to you, and we have the ability to see more because we're in the water. We're
Right.
water beings.
Right.
So we have that ability to see. So I was seeing the kids and I was talking to them like, it's okay, you're gonna be fine. I'm gonna help you. And all of a sudden, whoosh, I'm back.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, the kids.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I was like, what just happened? It's fine. You're fine. You experienced that because you have been going on missions and that aspect of yourself, but you also need to focus on being here.
Yeah.
Don't try to be everywhere all
All
at
the
once.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so crazy you said that because you know how they just had the strikes, the
Port
On the
strikes.
barges.
okay,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. The
So
ports.
so the tea behind that is the reason why all those union workers at these ports stop is because they were finding children in cages.
They was hearing them crying.
They
in
were
there.
hearing them crying inside of the containers. And they're like, we're not, if you guys don't do something about it, we're done. And that's why they all went on strike. So it's so crazy that you said that you astral projected and was in the water.
But her mouth is open like
Right.
she never heard that ever.
Yeah, that's the real tea behind it. That's on the spiritual side of what is going
because
over.
I remember that.
You like I remember
No,
that.
like, when
like
it-
it's fuzzy, and sometimes whenever you're traveling, and I notice like even when I'm just lucid dreaming, every time I tell it over, I remember something that I did not like, and it's just the littlest bits of it. Like I didn't remember this part about it, but whenever I told it to someone else, I remembered that. You know, it's very very little, but I felt like that was interesting because that's what they say that the reason why they went on strike is that they are not helping these people transport these children over water overseas, and it's a lot of kids that went missing. I think it would from the border whenever they were moving the children, because it was a lot of kids that just disappeared and they can't tell anybody where they went. So
Yeah, there was a lot of stories also about like when that stuff happened in Hawaii. The real
yes.
secret mission was
you know
to get
the
these children.
Oprah and the rock thing whenever
Oh,
that
yeah.
fire and we all not we all but people were looking at them like, oh, that was so nice. Well, they lost those kids, and 2,000 of them were found in a shipping container. So
in like dog kennels.
yes, so it comes down to everything that we experience. We don't understand in the
Yes,
moment.
I couldn't understand what I was seeing, why it was happening, but I was just trying to do my best to stay present and where I was at. I heard kids and they were locked and they were crying, and I was trying to help them.
Yeah.
And now you're telling, oh my
Yes,
God.
look it up whenever we leave
No,
here.
that is.
It is crazy. And yeah, it just comes down to it's a lot of shit people don't talk about and don't understand.
But then, like, when I got pulled away, I couldn't remember how I helped them. I just knew that I was trying to help them. And now that I'm thinking about it, and I had asked, like, my guide at the time, I'm like, why did I experience that? Why did you show me that? You know, because I'm here.
Right.
I can keep my consciousness rooted here if I want to.
Right.
But we all exist in different places and different forms of
Yeah.
ourselves. And I got to experience that aquatic version of myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did you allow me to experience that and not finish the job?
Right.
And I was told that I was told that I was allowed to see that because you have a feeling inside of you that you're trying to save everybody and you're trying to save
You
the
can't.
world and you're trying to just fix everything and all of the world's problems, but the main thing and how you can help this world is to help you continue to grow in you and like that experience of not helping them and just feeling that pain again with them, with the kids, it was just so harsh for me. But I realized that there is help that is happening.
Yeah.
There is people, there is angels, there are aquatic beings, there are family everywhere that are helping and moving this, whatever darkness is out there, it is always being fought.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always being fought. And when it's time for you to connect and you want to help this world, you will energetically, astrally.
Yeah.
Like, don't feel like you have to fight the entire world, or the Matrix. You have to take down the Matrix and take down the government. Like, no, your journey here.
Baby steps.
That's what I'm saying. Everything here, this planet been running, and it'll continue to run and take care of itself. But you got to take care of you.
Yes.
I felt like I felt a responsibility to save people and save this world and because I felt other people's pain.
Yeah,
and it was so hard for me to let that go. It was so hard.
Yeah.
But I realized that I wasn't paying attention to myself.
Right. Yeah.
So,
it is very, and somebody was like, yeah, that all girls school, what happened to that girls school that Oprah had in Africa? Well, they were molesting the girls. They were doing things to them kids. It comes down to a lot of these people, there's no other or better word than demon for them.
It's not human.
Right, yes. And a lot of
not.
people, they think like that word is like just for something that you do evil. No, these people's ancestors, these people's makeups, it's not human. It can't be. So before we get to any calls,
We might not have enough time to go to calls.
I know.
It's been
listen,
such a dope conversation.
it's okay. No, because like I was saying, like this took so long, y'all, and I think everything orchestrated. Like I said, divine timing, because now we are doing such different things. Like, who knew you could sing? Like, this is the magician over here. I told her
that mermaid energy.
Listen, and the concepts behind your music is very much so you. It's very, very dope. You're talking about the astral realm. You're talking about understanding yourself better and growth and spiritual growth. And I'm just here for it. I do want to take a quick second to thank all of our super chatters. Thank all of our new subscribers. Enjoy.
Thank you to
Shout out to
Kamisha.
everybody who tapped in tonight.
Yes.
Because on a Black Culture, we got 435 in the chat right now.
Yes.
And this is going strong. Like we
Yep.
hit numbers tonight, y'all.
Yes. And then as for on calls from beyond, I'm trying to find it, Lord.
We're at 148.
Yes.
Listen.
But
So that's
Kamisha
five.
with the
What is
two
that,
$5 super
600?
chats.
Yes. I got
Views?
it. Yep.
It's
And-
at 400 total views.
I'm
calls.
I'm so excited now.
400.
Yeah.
I
I see
know.
what
yeah,
I just now got what you were saying.
So it's 600 total.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Look at how big
Right.
this collaboration
Right.
is. That's exactly she literally helped me come out of my shell,
No,
y'all.
no,
I'm not
no,
gonna lie.
don't
She
do
helped
it.
me come out of my
Listen.
shell because I would have been in a house. I would have not created an event that I'm gonna be performing my music
Yes.
and just talking to y'all about more about this type of conversation. And I
Yeah.
want y'all to share it with me.
Yes,
So,
because I was teasing her, and I teased her today again because I'm gonna give you a hard time every time. And I was like, oh, she don't want to be my friend because she be busy and everything else, and I ain't got no chance. We haven't had a chance to
No,
link.
this was the last invite before we pulled up. Because we all in the same city. Pretty soon it was gonna be a pull up. Like, get in the car.
Wait. So whenever she was like, hey, yeah, and it's so crazy. It's like great minds because we were thinking about taking this on the road, and we don't know what we're doing quite yet. And they didn't told us, they didn't big our head up. It's like, y'all should do this and that and the third. And I never knew anybody that actually did it. So when you said, hey, I'm giving an event, I'm like, okay, drop the location. Like, what we doing,
Yes.
So for those who do not know, because I wanted it to be shared by you, and this is your baby, we live in Las Vegas, and I know Arizona. I know, right? This is crazy. Arizona, California, all of these places are relatively
Utah.
close. Utah. So I know we kind of touched on the event, but what is this event? Like, what is it in store? When is it? What time it is? Where can they buy the tickets? Put yourself out there.
okay, so I'm going to be doing an event on November 16th. It's going to basically be a meetup. It's going to be a meetup of everybody who is on the same radio signal as we are.
Yep.
Everybody who's in this chat. We are located in Las Vegas. I'm going to have
Listen, I'll be there either as Noah, the Black Cauldron, or Miss Frizzle.
Like I'm just I'm so excited for like because she brought me like out of my shell. It just inspired me to connect more with you guys on a physical level. And I'm just so happy that I'm doing this event. It's going to be on November 16th. I am going to have like 40 to 60 seats. I just released the ability to buy the tickets, so you can buy it right now. Find it on my link tree. You can find it. It's basically on my link tree. You can click on it, and I'm going to be performing my music for the first time live. I know y'all been seeing me post little snippets of it, like, Kaya, drop the music. I'm like, I'm trying, y'all. I want to work it all together for myself. So, yeah, if you want to come out and you want to share your experiences, you have testimonies of your spiritual things that has happened to you, you have any questions that you want to ask me and the Black Cauldron, if you want to just be around people who have good energy and not go to the club and drink alcohol and smoke weed and all of that stuff, like, you can come here and feel safe to express yourself in person. Yeah. And I really want to meet y'all because I felt alone for a long time, and I'm so glad that I'm creating this event so y'all don't feel alone.
Yeah, I
so,
feel like we got our little out here. Yes. It's not a lot of us. There's so many things that, you know, I want to accomplish within the Las Vegas community and just online because there's so many people. They're like, I didn't have anybody to talk to about this. Yeah. And they call us, and we have successfully created this community of just dope ass spiritualists, you know, like that have good intentions, that aren't weird and or energy vampires. Like, I'm so glad that we're able to do this, and I'm so glad that I was able to meet you finally in person. You know, my little cousin seen her at the Dollar Tree like a year, and I'm like, I don't never run into nobody cool. Like, and then okay, so do people recognize you out here?
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
they do, and I just feel like,
hi. Right.
I didn't know you were here. Like, hello.
Right. Sometimes, and they catch me whenever I'm the raggediest. Okay. I be like, oh my.
Sneak out with your pajamas on. They be like, hey, I see you on YouTube.
Hey, no, I watch you on YouTube. Hey, Noah.
I got on mismatched flip flops right now.
I'm just trying to going to the gas station.
Yes.
And it's not even like, oh, I'm a celebrity. No, that means that you really, really fuck with me. Like, y'all mess with us and you love us and y'all be watching our stuff. And like I said, a lot of you guys came to my page from her page. And I'm just so appreciative that y'all like me. Y'all really, really like me and y'all love her. And I'm so excited to
and what is it again? November 16th?
November 16th is it's a meet and greet for all of us for November 16th. It's going to be 5 to 8 p.m. and I'm going to be recording. We're going to have a live questionnaire that anybody want to have or talk about their experiences. Yeah. And I'm going to have Noah, the Black Cauldron, on there as well. So you can ask her questions. You can ask me questions. We can take pictures. Yep. I'm trying to get some food in there. I don't know if it's in the budget, but let me know. So we're going to figure it all out. Yeah. But I just want y'all to have a space where you can come physically and just talk. Like, we've been doing this phone, this
back and forth, the phone tag.
Oh, my God, the phone tagging. Like, it's time to meet up and actually create a good energy. Yeah. You know, they got clubs all over this place. This Las Vegas. They got clubs. So let's make a positive space where we can all come together and have fun and talk to each other and just communicate. Because it's been, so dope. I felt so alone for a long time. So now that we coming together, let's see what we can do and create a positive.
Yeah.
And her link tree is currently in the chat right now.
Yeah, my assistant is dropping.
Make sure that
got
you
all
guys
your stuff in there.
Click on the link if you're interested. And I don't want to hear. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me be real quick. I don't want to hear no bullshit about how you can't make it. You could go right to the airport, get you a little Spirit flight for probably $40 round trip. It ain't no excuses. Yeah, like, if you want to be there, you could be there.
Someone just said, I think I'm gonna arrange. Like, I'm really considering it. And
pull up,
please, y'all.
Because see, this is what. And it's so crazy because we have been talking about like doing live shows at Las Vegas. You just gotta really find the right place to do it.
You just
They
gotta have a
are
connection. you just
crazy,
gotta
bro.
work in the music industry
Yeah.
for 10 years
Right,
to know
right.
the plugs.
We
something
know
to
some
about
people
that
who
one.
got spaces.
Yeah,
I
we
got
know.
something
Yeah,
to tell you about that
yeah,
one.
because it is absolutely insane,
It's-
and it's hard, but and
y'all
that's
need the
why I
plug
feel
or
like
take
we
commissions?
haven't. Yeah, we haven't done it either because we want to create communities and spaces where y'all feel safe, physically feel safe, and spiritually feel safe to come in and be like, hey. I can be vulnerable. I can tell you about the time that I may have gotten thrown in a psychiatric hospital because I was seeing spirits, but now I know I'm a medium.
Thank
That
you.
kind of, energy, and everywhere, this is a portal, honey. Everywhere is not for you.
When I
So,
tell you that when I was booking the event, I first had booking the event and it had like a spiritual big doing and it had crystals and and it was like a yoga place and it looked really nice.
Hold
the
on.
phone. And I was not able to like they was real iffy on me coming in there because I wanted to check the energy out before I booked it. But you have to put the
I'm
deposit
going to guess
down.
where, I ain't going to say it
So-
on here, but I'm going to guess where you was at after we get off the live.
when I did the deposit, I went there and tell me why. Like I was seeing all of these spiritual statues and sage and Florida water everywhere, and I'm like, oh, this is nice in here. But it was something about the energy that just felt like there was something hiding behind it. Like I couldn't make it out, but I just knew that there was something wrong here. But I was like, okay, I already put the deposit down. Like let me just try to,
Right.
try to
Yep.
make it my own
Right.
energy. But like it was snake on the door. It was a big giant painting of a snake on in the area. It just felt
Yeah.
snake
Yeah.
energy. And when I met the actual person who is the owner of the building, tell me why this man had reptilian shirt. He had reptilian boots. He just looked like if he wanted to, he could shapeshift right in front of me and turn into a reptilian.
Oh, I'm like, I need my money back today.
And
I
I
needed it back yesterday,
that
actually.
was my first time physically coming into contact with he either has family or people that he around that are reptilian,
yeah.
but I sensed that energy on him.
Well, and I'm glad that you kind of peeped that, because another thing that's a very big problem within the community are people having spiritual shops, metaphysical shops, and they're not really spiritual.
Thank you.
They are literally
Drop shippers.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
White labeling they
Listen.
they stuff.
Yes, I literally was trying to open up like a brick and mortar, little retail, but and I noticed like, and it's so crazy. I had the spot picked out. Remember I told you about that?
you gotta be careful.
Right? And I was
spot
just
didn't feel right
like,
for us.
I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna do it online. Can you tell me why somebody took this spot and turned it into a metaphysical store? Like, it was so weird. And he keeps saying it was him.
Imagine if it was
That
me.
was no, but it was just like my ancestors really wasn't.
Yes,
My spirit
you
guides.
have to be careful.
And
have
then the fact that
discernment.
and then it was like just little things like you
Yes.
ain't got an AC unit in here. This is the desert, and
It was, but my situation, it was perfect. But
Yeah.
the whole setting of it, but energetically,
Yeah.
that person who owns that building, he created a space where people who are spiritual or who want to have a spiritual setting and have
So
a
they can come in and
spiritual
he can
meetup,
suck their
They
energy.
can come, they
Yes.
come there and he can suck their
Siph-
energy,
siphon
up.
it all,
and he
yeah.
was siphoning it, and that's what I felt in there. I felt like my energy was like being
Yeah.
pulled in there, and
Yeah.
when I'm telling you, when I got home, I had a nightmare.
oh no,
And
See?
that's how I knew. Ever since I left that place, I was feeling. I had negative thoughts. I was like, "Oh, can I actually do this? Is this gonna go right? Is people gonna show up?" And like, I just started to doubt myself. And when
Yeah.
that started to creep in, I'm like, "Wait a minute, I don't think like this. I know who I
No.
am, and I know the people who I
Yeah.
have."
Yeah.
And I just felt off. And then all of a sudden, I have a dream. Snake bit me.
Oh no.
See,
No.
I'm not. That's
The
what I'm saying.
reptilian skin.
You see?
That wasn't
Yeah.
enough.
Hell
You see
no.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So,
And even like the space that I was looking at, it wasn't necessarily that it had the person that was showing us, because it was like a commercial realty company. But I like to meet who I'm about to be paying my money to, and the space felt stuffy and it was too small. But that not the stuffy in like, oh, it's warm in here because ain't no AC. Because he said that I'll put an AC in it, right? Perfect price, but it was just stuffy. Like you can feel the room. like kind of like
last
you know,
night, yeah.
but
Did it
not
feel
on
like
that level.
Did it feel like you were in your body was stuffed in cotton, or did it feel like you were in a bag and the air was being zipped out? Sucked
Yes,
out of
yeah.
it? Okay.
So
Yeah, I've
that's
had
why
that
I'm
experience.
like, I don't know if I necessarily want this. And it rented, and it was almost like that space was hot, attractive, and it wasn't even nice, girl. I would have had to do a lot of
my
renovations.
God.
Where
But
was
it
this
was
at?
almost over on where's the cross streets to where that store was?
On like Decatur and Charleston.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all have to be really careful when y'all get out here and y'all try to find y'all people and try to find y'all spirit stores and stuff like
Yes,
that. Some of
please.
these people be in disguise, really trying to harness people who are having their awakening and manipulate their energy.
Yeah,
so
for
be
sure.
careful with that.
No, seriously, because I knew somebody who I know probably was going through some type of spiritual psychosis, and she was buying up all these candles and just like, oh, I'm just gonna sell them for this. Babalao told her you can sell these for like $500, $600 just by you praying over them, and I'm like,
She wasn't even really doing like no
I'm in the wrong business.
candle work,
Right.
no nothing. Like
I said,
she wasn't dressing the candles
no,
or nothing. She was
nothing,
just-
not even. I don't
She
even
was
know if he
literally just
cleansing
praying
them.
over a candle and selling it for $500.
But I said, you know, he's a vampire and he's training you and he's sucking your worldly currency and spiritual. You bought all his candles.
Thank you.
So it just comes down to a lot of things, and that's
Whoop, there it is.
being careful. But we are out of time. What I am going to say, though, again, thank you so much for coming on, Kaya. Like, they've been on my neck about this for a long time. And another thing is, Kaya is hosting a live event here in Las Vegas, November 16th. I'm going to have Lauren drop her link tree down below. You can purchase your tickets there. It will be her and I will be her special guest. Also, happy birthday, Lauren.
Yeah, I was about to say, I want to take a
Thank
second
you.
now
Dang,
to
almost
shout out
did
our
it.
assistant.
That's my assistant.
Happy birthday, Lauren. We
Happy
appreciate
birthday,
you for
Lauren.
everything
Yes,
you do.
thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Lauren.
I tried to give her the day off. She wouldn't even. She's like, no, I'm fine. She's such. Listen, we'll talk. We'll
Yes.
talk because listen, I had to learn that it's okay to let it go and let somebody else take care of certain things because
Yep.
if not, I got 4 kids, 2 dogs, and a husband. It was never gonna get done unless I hired somebody to do it.
And it still be a struggle.
Yes, it's still a struggle, but shout out to you, Lauren. Wishing you very many, many more. We appreciate you and love you here at Calls from Beyond, the Black Cauldron, and of course, Truly Bizarre. Thank you to all of my moderators, Mari, Lauren,
Mari, shout out.
Mr. Fresh, because he be over there
Mr.
moderating.
Fresh is just a mod. Honestly, he's
Yeah.
he's king mod.
I don't
He's
even know.
George.
I don't even know what my position is. I
Yes,
just-
George. he's
No,
over-
George knows the joke I just made. King mod.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to also say just thank you for inviting me here.
Absolutely.
Of course, we're
I
glad
love
you're able to
having
join
you
us.
here. Like, I really do.
Yes.
I appreciate this space.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
This is amazing. You guys have a beautiful
Thank you.
production company.
And
all
we're
of
about to
this, like,
move,
That's what I'm
too.
saying.
I,
Like, this
George,
is
I have the
amazing.
photo.
Y'all
Yeah.
So I have an
doing it.
updated photo
Yeah.
we can show right now on the email.
Oh, good.
This
It's
is what it
coming
looks like.
to-
I was working on this all day yesterday.
My gosh. And that was a kitchen. That was the break
It was like a
room.
meeting room, break room. So we put up wallpaper yesterday. We put up the back wood paneling.
Beautiful.
Look at the roof, though. We put up more of those
See?
those
Not
panels.
the mosaic
that.
towel. That's hard.
You know, for a bunch of dudes,
Well,
you
that-
guys really
Yeah,
did
yeah,
well.
that's what
They
I'm saying.
designed that.
Yeah. There was a woman there.
Yes.
There was a woman there,
Well, it
obviously.
had-
we couldn't have done it all.
Right. Yeah. It literally has the woman's touch, but it's
So
still
the
very
only
good.
thing we're gonna do now is that window right there. We are gonna seal that up and insulate it just to help with the
Yeah.
room noise. But I think within about a month or so, Calls from
Yeah,
Beyond's
shout
new
out
home
to
will be there.
you. Shout out. Yes, we will be moving.
Y'all are
So,
doing it.
man, listen, I'm trying.
and you know they.
That's-
Yes,
you get
come
me
on
out
now.
there.
We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, 'cause I was going to say we gotta
Yeah.
give her Austin's information because you know those spaces like this they are available. You know
They
and
are.
they provide all of the resources. You know
Yeah.
the editing and all of that stuff. So,
Yeah, so-
absolutely,
I
it'll
do
help.
everything, and I cry myself to sleep. No, I'm just kidding. I love what I do.
No, he's really a workaholic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, don't.
I work.
What
I think I
are
work
you
like,
doing? At the studio, bro. Go home. Like, do you
And
have a
here's the
client
thing.
right now?
Here-
No.
Here's the thing. Compared to, and George can attest to, compared to like 8 months ago, I'm home
yeah.
way more than
Yeah,
at the
he
last
was-
studio.
he was
last studio I was
gone.
working like 60 hours a week. George was
Yeah.
working probably 70, and then now I'm in this building like 2 days a week, and it's not for more than
It's not bad.
4 hours at a time. Like Thursday's my busiest day, and I'm here. I get here at like 9:30, and then I'm done at like 4 or 5. But then
good
that's the
thing
biggest
is-
day.
The good thing is that if you ever need help with anything, you got my number, because let me tell you something. I noticed that I wasn't pumping out content because I was so busy doing this. I was so busy editing. I was so busy finding topics. I was so busy, just busy. And I was missing out on my blessings because there was certain things that I couldn't do by myself, or because I wanted to be perfect. I don't want nobody's hands on it, you know? So
Perfect is good, but done is better.
yes, I've learned that.
I
But
feel that.
It's okay to delegate certain things.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Delegation is the key to success.
I think it's okay to delegate as long as they're on the same level as you in terms of like,
Facts.
what are you trying to do?
Facts.
Yeah, if you have somebody
Uh-oh.
who's just like,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was
Oh.
reading the comments because Shamika said she found 3
Oh, I saw that,
round-trip
yeah.
tickets.
$136.
She said,
Listen,
I'll see
no
y'all
excuses.
No excuses.
Yes.
No excuses. Y'all heard it here.
Dang.
There's no excuses.
So there's no excuses for tomorrow night then. Last night of Spirits of Spirits. Hey,
whoa.
Yes.
we did it
So-
last
You
night.
trying to get us a spin a block?
Yeah.
Because I'm still tired.
So, of course, we
Yeah, I'm
always
tired
end
too. I'm
the,
going to go do it again tomorrow night.
yeah, we always end the show just letting everybody know what we're working on. We did go to Spirits with Spirits last night. The spirits were spiriting. Okay.
were.
Very friendly ghosts. I was a little afraid because obviously these ghosts are from the 1800s and the early 1900s.
I seen Casper there last night too.
Yeah,
It was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was very, very
How'd it
dope.
look?
I'm
No.
gonna show you. No, I'm gonna show you.
Listen.
We'll show you
I'ma
some
show
stuff
you.
after.
There was
Yeah.
a ghost right next to me. It was
Now,
crazy.
if you're going, wait, I want to see what that is. I know Noah has a video she's about to put out, and then Thursday, because I've been filming every single night that we go out there. So I'm gonna have a 5-part series called Tales from the Pioneer, and the first one comes out. The first 2 come out on Halloween. I'm almost done with the first one. I'm about to start on the second one, and then the week after, so next week, every Friday afterwards, the next one will drop. But we're already getting like asked to do like just November and
yeah,
December. Like we have
November.
groups like 5 to 10 people that want to do it. So
listen, I would totally go back. Dog, it's dope.
Yeah, we had a good time.
dope.
So, if
It's a long
I
drive
think
up that hill.
it's 40 minutes away,
and that's with
Yeah.
like traffic.
Yeah. So, again, we will be dropping the link to purchase your tickets. Austin will be there every
Yep.
Tuesday until the foreseeable future.
Well, I'll be there at least for this month. Wednesday's the last date. But you can if you
Oh,
got a group,
shit.
yeah, Wednesday's the last date.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you have a group that wants to do it, you can just email them, and we have special group pricing.
yeah.
And if enough of you guys turn out, I might have to hire Miss Noah over here, bring her along,
Listen.
bring her along.
Yeah, I had fun. I wasn't scared of the ghosts. The ghosts were friendly. I mean, they saw I was black. I was not worried about
That's
it.
what she kept telling me. So
I was a
Austin-
little
No, that was the
worried.
biggest fear.
That was the biggest fear. It wasn't the ghost itself. Is that they haven't seen a black face since they probably.
But then there was you guys weren't
So-
alone last night.
No, we
yeah,
was
I was
good.
not. We were
We
good.
was
They were
good.
very friendly.
But when you hear the name, y'all, it's no bullshit. It's really like
Pioneer.
a saloon. Like when you think Pioneer Saloon, you're like, oh no,
Everything
this
in there is
fictitious.
original.
No, it's literally the bullet holes from somebody getting shot at a card game is still in the wall.
yeah,
still
and
in the
his
wall.
body laid there for 10 hours.
10
So
hours
it's haunted,
took the
haunted in
coroner
there.
because it took the coroner. This was early 1900s. Took the coroner 10 hours to get from Vegas to Good Springs.
place,
So they just
yeah.
left him on the floor with a sheet over him.
I'm talking about like it's a saloon to the point where they still have
Mm-hmm.
the post outside for you to park your horse right now.
Yeah, it
I
was
think you
super
can.
fun.
I think
Yeah.
I don't even think they have
No,
a
they
problem.
said-
You bring your horse.
They said
Yeah, you
people
can.
still park their horses in.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
Good Springs, the town, they like make it to where people can
Yeah.
ride their horses. So
Yo,
what
that
you got?
sounds crazy.
What you got coming up for content, Miss Noah?
Okay, so I of course dropped a couple videos today.
Couple. She been
Man,
turning
listen,
out
that's 'cause
bangers.
I had things to do in September and I had to learn that lesson. I had to
Not a
get
failure.
It was not a failure. But I feel like I gypped y'all on content last month. So I made sure to make up for it this month. And I will continue up until I just can't make no more content.
So make sure
Until we drop dead.
make sure y'all watch it. If y'all gonna
Yeah.
watch it,
I watched it. As soon
Yeah.
as she uploaded
There you
it,
go.
Right,
it was
me
like,
too.
Boom.
both
Yep,
of them.
yep.
It was a back-to-back one. I'm
Yep.
like, dang, wait a minute. This
Listen,
Wait a minute, I
I'm
haven't
trying
seen
to
this
get
one
it
yet.
together, okay?
but if y'all love Noah, make sure y'all watch these videos within the next 2 days. I ain't gonna tell y'all why y'all need to watch it within the next 2 days. But if y'all
YouTubers
love
know.
You know, hey, same for my videos. Mine especially because I
and
got a
don't be
threshold to meet.
right,
Listen.
right.
I'm $6 away from the threshold to even make it to next month.
Hey,
so I
I
need y'all to go.
Hey.
watch everybody on here's videos.
Here's
And
the
don't
thing,
be
dude.
two
skipping our
days.
ads
You're
either.
gonna
We need
you're
them
gonna go to
checks.
work, okay? You're gonna go to work. If you have a computer and you have 2 monitors, put Black Cauldron on one monitor, Truly Bizarre on the other monitor.
Hey, and
then
everything
buy a
I love,
third
you don't even
monitor.
gotta watch it. Just let the
And then
ads
put
play.
Real Kaya on there.
That's
Mm.
right.
Boom,
So
on
get-
your phone.
Actually, we're gonna get 5 monitors because you're gonna put Real Kaya, Calls from Beyond, Truly Bizarre, Black Cauldron, and then Pit and Pull.
Yep.
Listen, and,
Yes. Look.
and you ain't even gotta really watch it, y'all.
No,
you could just
go
put
to
your
work.
phone down and go to work.
Go to
Yep.
work,
Yeah.
let the computer
Let it play for 8 hours in the background, but I need you to do it before the 31st.
Start tonight. Start tonight.
Oh, also before we go, and I'm gonna hand it over to Miss Kaya because I know she got a lot of things just to for conclusion. It is my 1-year YouTube anniversary
Yes.
on the 31st, and oh, thank you. No, you can bring it back in. You know, I like that kind of attention.
Hey,
So because I love you guys, and I always cut off my readings. I have decided to do a flash sale for my first anniversary, and my readings are severely discounted right now for you guys, for my YouTube family.
Just for
And
y'all.
Yeah, just for I'm lying. It's for everybody, but it's because of y'all. And there's a couple of other things that I'm trying to have roll out for you. But if you would like to book a reading for me, y'all know I am good at closing down my readings. Whenever I feel like Spirit
you
is
bet-
like, that's enough.
Sometimes we have to
Hey,
tell her, be like, why did you
nah,
close them down?
Y'all
Yeah.
better get it while it's hot.
Yes.
Because this lady will legit put them on sale today, and they will
tomorrow.
be closed
change my
tomorrow.
mind tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow. She'll
I'm
have
like,
it
oh
open
my
now.
God, I got 5 readings next week. I'm closing my
done.
readings
I'm
down.
done.
You guys are gonna pull up to your house and she's gonna be like, I already closed
I
it.
closed it.
No,
No, but they are on sale, and I wanted to give a lot of people opportunity, especially on YouTube, because I do that, and a lot of you guys have not been able to sit down and read with me, and they are live readings via Google Meet, so you are welcome to click the link down below. I'm pretty sure Lauren is putting it in the chat. And Miss Kaya, just to sum it up, what are you working on right now?
What if that was it?
When
She's
you
like,
love
what
what
is
you
it?
do.
what would you like to know?
Right.
Well, actually,
No,
thank you for asking.
that's the side whenever you love what you do and you're
Yes.
you're creating, and it feels good, right?
I love my life.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I am currently working on releasing my album. I am working on this event that is going to be on the 16th at 5 p.m. Y'all can come out. It's a spiritual meet and greet. The link will be in my link tree on my page. You can come find me anywhere. Just look up Real Kaya. Y'all know I got a lot of spam. Hey, just look up.
It's linked. If you click on in the title,
Yes.
she's linked
Yes.
already right
And like
there.
she
Just click
said,
on
it's
her
a
name.
Yes.
spiritual event, so it's okay to fly spirit.
That's what
Yeah.
feel me? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you. Look at the connection.
No, legit. Yeah, we got 2
Not
tickets to
sponsored
Miami
yet.
for $98 together. You guys could literally make
No,
this
we paid
event.
93 to Miami.
Oh, 93. Sorry, not
Round trip.
98.
90.
That
And for
$5.
both of
Hey, that's
us.
$5 a person. That's
Yeah.
like at least one like seafood boil, right?
Yeah,
Or, I don't know
listen,
what the
you'll
price
be
on
all
that.
right.
Yes.
But y'all tap in,
Please.
support her. I'm sure we'll know when the album drops.
Mhm.
And-
I want to. It's gonna be my first time performing as
Yes.
well. So the music that I do is what I've been talking to y'all about, and I'm just putting it in musical form so you can feel good just being in your energetic self.
Yeah.
So come out, come see me perform, come talk to me about your spiritual testimonies, and talk to Noah about it, and talk to everybody who's involved, and feel safe to be you. I love y'all so much.
Ashe.
Thank
Oh,
you so much for all the
Thank you so
support.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Sis
man.
Star. Well, Mr. Fresh, where can we find you at?
Man, y'all already know where y'all can find me at.
I don't actually. That's why I'm asking.
Look, I don't even know where I can find me at. I be having to look up my IG and all my handles.
Poor man.
You gotta make it simpler. He's like, we've
Listen,
had this
No,
conversation.
I did. They're all the same, but I still don't know 'em
Because this was like, it's
I haven't-
Mr. Fresh 14928781
Yeah.
star. And it's like,
Nice.
nobody's gonna remember that.
1976, whatever. I'm
Best
joking.
year?
No, it's not the best year.
Oh, okay.
I just was on a year out there.
Oh, just a
Are you
year
just
out
not
there.
I was
realizing
just throwing a
it's
year out
blasting
there.
in our ear this
But
whole time?
but I'll be here, every Tuesday. Y'all already know. I'm in the background on my way as Noah's
Wizard-
cameraman or
Wizard
whatever
Kelly over there.
whatever she needs me to do. I'm like the Mr. Do It All. That's what you could call me. That's what I'm here for. So
I didn't know like if I come out of my cave, like this is what the world is like. Like,
Should
No,
have started singing
seriously,
like
and-
Princess
and-
Jasmine.
Yes, and with a lot of people, and I was the same way. I be at the crib, like just whatever. But I've gotten to meet so many people in the spiritual, paranormal like community, just getting out of my cage, getting out of my comfort zone.
But it's been about time that this happened because we
yeah.
was getting ready to pull a Snoop on her
I
and pull
said,
up like Baby
you know,
Boy,
whenever he
like
pulled
looking
up
out the
and he rolled
window.
down the window and he was looking.
I
I was
know
gonna be
that
like
shoe.
that at your event if you didn't hit me.
You'd be like that. What was that 80s movie with the guy with the boombox outside? But it's just like,
Oh
come
my
on.
God.
but it's just playing your
Let's do
YouTube
it.
videos or hers. Like you're outside playing her videos outside.
I
just-
legit
It
like.
reminded me of that part in ATL when he had rolled the window down. He was like, "Fool,
Yep.
where you been at, boy?
Yeah.
Boy, it's been a minute now."
Right. That's why I was like, I legit text her and I was like, I'm so glad that you even agreed. So I didn't think you was messing with me, sis. Because it's been 365 days
Yes,
and we
it
still
has.
ain't. But I'm so glad we were able to
I
get together.
was going
Like,
through so much.
I know we
So
all
much.
were. And to be fair, like I was very new to sharing my spiritual journey online, and that opens up the floor for a lot of things that I was not ready, you know, for people criticizing, having their own opinion. I had to learn myself because now I don't even read them comments half the time. But it's like it's a lot, you know. So we both was just getting our bearings. George, where could the people find you at?
Damn, if only they knew what you were wearing right
On
now.
Oh,
Sport
you
Time.
know, they
That's
they
what I'm
super
saying.
chatted.
Like,
We
they
have to
need
show
to-
Oh
them
yeah,
our
George, we did get
costumes.
$11 in super chats. I think we have to. And,
Yes.
and they super chatted more to you. You got $1.99,
Gotta
$4.99,
show the fit.
10. You got a
I
$10.
know. I said this is very on point.
That's what I'm
This
saying.
is
I
very
feel
on
like
point for
he
him.
won, like,
No, George low key loves this.
I
He
just bought my little ears from Egypt in Bastet mode. Like,
I'm sorry, y'all. I took my costume
Wait a
off.
minute. No, that ain't how it's supposed to
my
go.
God.
What's wrong with the
so
face?
George is a fan favorite. They love George.
No, they be doing a lot. The ladies love George.
oh my
Oh,
God.
do you want to cut to hers? Cut to hers so you
Yes.
can step in, and then I'm gonna end it right as he steps in. Just
Hold on, you don't want to put your costume back on? No.
Hey, Austin got a colder than polar bear in here.
sweating. It's 77 in here.
Man,
That is too cute.
Yeah. At Mr. George Carmona is where you could find me.
Pin and Pull.
Pin and Pull just released an episode today.
Yep.
So, like literally 3 hours ago.
Yeah, go Chargers.
We're gonna go
Go drive up
watch.
those views. Wow, my
go
eyebrows are
Chargers.
getting pulled.
What?
every
I would
I did
kill
not
his
dress up
Roman
as
soldier.
Oh yeah. We did not dress up
I
tonight.
did not dress up. I did not get Amazon.
Yo, I'm the
client.
cool Shrek because this Shrek got
Okay.
got.
Come on.
Oh, it's not even showing
There
me.
we go.
Yes.
Yes.
Slide it over.
Yes.
Come on.
I even got
Yes.
the earth earrings. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh, you
and
didn't pay attention to that?
that's not
I
Miss.
had them,
That's not Miss Frizzle. That's
that's
Miss
Miss
Nizzle.
Nizzle.
Miss
She's
Nizzle. Hey.
We got little Lizzo right here on the side, you know.
You smell
George.
me, like.
George, I gotta show him the modern Shrek because I got panda dunks on in
Oh,
Shrek.
and we're so ghetto because both of us like I'm
Pan-
wearing.
Panda
Oh,
dunks.
I don't
she,
want to
Panda
expose
dunks, baby.
myself.
Noah got on some 12s.
That's why
I
we
told
Miss
y'all that's Miss Nizzle.
Hey, I'm ghetto.
She
by
might got.
heart.
Hey, she might got a pack of Pall Malls in her school bus.
Let me get a Newport real quick. Let me get a
My
Newport.
cheeks hurt. Oh my God.
But thank you guys. Again.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for all of our viewers. Thank you to Miss Kaya. We truly appreciate it. Again, November 16th, we're gonna be
In the building.
In
In,
the
your
building.
club. Because in the club.
We
in
all
the
family.
club. We all fam.
Hey.
In the club, we are all family.
I'm racist. Sorry, I don't know that.
It's a,
But thank you so much. You guys have a great night. And again, November 16th here in Las Vegas.
Here in Las Vegas, 5 p.m. Pull up.